Hi, this is Tim of smallscalerc.com. Today we have an in-depth look at the FCX18 along with a few upgrades. So this is the latest 18 scale model from FMS. It's the FCX18 LC80 Land Cruiser 80 body style. It's not the first LC80 that FMS has produced. They did have a previous model that had a lot more scale detail. To an extent, it had a full interior and you had rock sliders. Outside of that, it was really about the same. This truck takes things up a notch in terms of performance. You gain portal axles, so you have increased ground clearance. You have metal linkage, both on the lower links and steering links. In addition to that, you have a lot of running time with a 900 milliamp hour 7.4 volt 2S LiPo battery. You have a 2.4 gigahertz controller with 4 channels, so you can control the 2-speed high-low transmission that's included with this. Game changer, if you ask me. Phenomenal to have that selectability and that additional performance out of a truck of this size. What am I missing? Those are not the stock tires, as you can probably tell. These, however, are. So these are the tires that come with the FCX18. They perform very well. I just found them to be a little on the narrow side for my personal taste, so I swapped them out. But these, like I said, perform extremely well, and they do have foams included, so you're getting a really good tire right out of the box. Outside of that, yeah, it's just a phenomenal vehicle. Oh, forgot to mention, it has oil-filled shocks, so you don't have that springy, bouncy, exaggerated silliness from a vehicle with friction shocks, which is what the original version had in it. As with other FMS models, all of the electronics are found under the hood. So you pop the hood. I'm charging the battery right now, so I can't fire this up for you. Under the hood, battery container or battery tray, and you plug it in, your on-off switch, everything is under the hood. As I mentioned, it does have do a good job of securing. Other FMS models, even the previous model of this vehicle, I had trouble with keeping the hood latched. All the time it would go over a bump and boom, there would go my hood. But this does a phenomenal job of keeping that hood nice and secure and latched. So that's my pretty basic review of this truck. As you can see though, and as I've mentioned, I've made a couple upgrades just because I thought this vehicle really was begging for them after I took it out of the box and gave it a few stock runs. So going around on the front, I've got some toe shackles from Injora. I've got Injora all-terrain MT tires. One of my favorite sets of small scale tires from Injora, by the way. They are very sticky. They have a ton of grip. They perform incredibly well. Matched or paired those with a set of Triel's vintage jelly bean wheels in black. I pulled off the spare tire in the back, replaced it with a 3D printed cover. And yes, I know my vinyl decal is off center. I've got to create a new one of those. Speaking of vinyl, I did a custom vinyl glare guard up front, and then the roof rack, gave it some outdoor adventure accessories, weathered a couple of them up a little bit, and I'm keeping everything contained with an Injora cargo net. So just a phenomenal vehicle. Body colors, this is the yellow version. There is also a blue, which is incredibly gorgeous blue color actually, and gray. So depending on what your personal preference and personal taste is, you might want to pick one or the other, or all three. You can. It's up to you. Honestly, I am thinking about getting another one of these, if not 2 more. Just looking at the customization options and what spare parts and things I have laying around. Like I said, that blue is absolutely gorgeous. This yellow definitely is growing on me. It has almost looks kind of a camel tanny color in certain lighting. Really fun looking truck though. well done in terms of details, body details. This is a painted body, um, so you get that added premium look from this truck. And at the price, it isn't that bad. The price on the FCX18 is $179.99, and you can find that vehicle at fmshobby.com. Since I mentioned FMS Hobby, I also want to thank them for sending this truck to me to get a closer look at and review. So thank you, FMS. I'm just going to say this is one of my favorite small scale vehicles, hands down. And I have had this vehicle for less time than I've had others, whether it's the SCX24, the TRX4M, drawing a blank on some of the others, to kind of give you an idea of where this thing sits. It's one of my top 1 or 2 favorite vehicles right now, small scale wise, and it might be one of my top 5 overall. No scale, scale independent. It's that good. It's that much fun. So if you're into scale RC, if you're into RC crawling and you want to check out something smaller, maybe you want something a little more portable to take camping, hiking, just playing around indoors, whatever, perfect. This is a perfect vehicle for you. So again, price $179.99. You can buy it at fmshobby.com. I'll include a link in the description. With that said, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you want to learn more about anything small scale RC related, head over to smallscalerc.com. And until next time, we'll talk with you later. Okay, you're in luck. As it turned out, my battery finished charging just in time before I started putting stuff away, so I get to show off some of this vehicle's features in action. So there we go. We've got blinker lights. I'm not a huge fan of that feature on these models, but is what it is. We have low beams, high beams, hazards. Then we're back to blinker, and then you do have a LED off option as well. Kick my low beams on. So we're just going to give you a quick demo of what this truck can do, all in low gear. So here we go. Up and over, no biggie. Simple, simple. It's got some good side hill. Oh, there we go. Side hill chops. Steering servo could be a little stronger, but you can swap that out easy enough. The low throttle input on this vehicle is very, very impressive. So I am barely going to give it any throttle. And I'm just holding my finger right there. Yep, I didn't move give it any more input than that the entire time. Such good low input performance. It can be a little top heavy. I've tipped it once or twice. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Able to drive out of things quite easily. So, all right. And now we have it up in high gear. It can still, she can move in high too. She can move in high gear. So, come on. Yeah. It's a fun truck. It's tough to beat.